if you weren't already aware, there has been a subjob cap increase introduced to Final Fantasy XI in November's patch. If you want to know more about the Mastery Rank system, check out this link above me here, because today we're talking about the implications of having a level 53 subjob and what that means for the jobs you play. So the user Berserk here on the FFXI forums has put a small list together as to what you get from the different subjobs up to 53. And we're just going to take a look through this list. We're going to talk over the talking points of what I think is important and see what we get. First off, we have Warrior, double attack 2 and max HP boost 2. Max HP is going to be negligible, but double attack is interesting. You should know it's kind of small. Double attack 1 trait from Warrior sub gives you 10 double attack. Double attack 2 gives you 12. So an extra 2% double attack for those of you who are already subbing Warrior for your main job. Next up, we have Monk sub. This one is kind of interesting. You get kick attacks 1, which is 10% kick attack rate. Extra attack chance of an attack round in your attack round. And I've never played Monk, so I'm going to try this on either Warrior or Dancer. I'm not sure yet, but it sounds like fun. Now, White Mage sub is very interesting. At level 50 sub job, you get access to the most interesting thing here, I think, is Divine Veil. MDB 3 is good. Divine Benison is like a fast cast to your Na spells. But Divine Veil now means that when you use Divine Seal with White Mage sub on a Na spell, it'll affect the party in an AoE radius. White mages use this all the time, and now White Mage sub gets access to it. Pretty nice. It's a nice little addition. The important thing, though, is at level 51 White Mage sub job, you get Kiraga 3. Kiraga 3 is one of the better healing spells in the game. It's really, the mana to healing ratio is very high, and it's White Mage's bread and butter in terms of healing situations anyway. So now having access to that on a sub is very good. We come down to Black Mage, not much to say here. Elemental Celerity is a fast cast, basically, of 10% to casting elemental magic. Not really relevant. Some extra spells. You're not really subbing Black Mage for spells like these. MAB 3 is nice. For any time you'd be subbing Black Mage, and you're looking to, like, for example, on Aeolian Edge, you might sub Black Mage and get MAB 3. Red Mage would have Composure, but it doesn't work. SES stated that any stances won't be transferred to main job. So the ones we have currently are Composure, Yonin, and Inin. Those are both from Ninja. I expect things like Saber Dance and Fan Dance on Dancer won't translate over, as well as... Well, interestingly, we get Hasso on Sam already, so that's an interesting one. I'd like to see how that pans out in the future. But otherwise, Red Mage doesn't look terribly attractive yet. As we get more sub-job levels, Red Mage may become very good, but we'll approach that in a later video. Thief sub, you weren't really taking Thief sub in the first place unless you were looking for Treasure Hunter, but you do get PDL 1. I'm not sure who that's relevant for, but it is a thing. Paladin, you get Shield Mastery 2, Defense Bonus 3, Raise and Protect. All kind of interesting. In the future, Paladin sub may be doing something. I don't think it is quite yet. Dark Knight, if you're already subbing Dark, you get an extra something like 12 attack from Attack Bonus 3 versus Attack Bonus 2. Beastmaster, Aquan Killer, nothing special there. Bard, Blade Madrigal, Dragonfall Mambo, Dark Carol, nothing special there. Ranger, you're not really subbing Ranger. I mean, these three jobs in general, Beast, Bard, Ranger, you're not really subbing them. Now we start to get to the good ones. So we've kind of got through the subs that nobody's really using. And also here, Summoner. Max MP boost. Yeah, these things are not relevant. The only time you'd ever sub Summoner was back in the day when you wanted the auto refresh. But here's the good stuff. Samurai. Store TP 3, it's an extra 5 store TP over STP 2. For anybody who was summoning Samurai before, for both Hasso and the store TP trait, you're now getting 5 more store TP. Zanshin is basically, if you whiff your entire attack round, Zanshin has a chance to proc to give you a new attack. And Zanshin 3 is a little bit better than Zanshin 2, but in general, it's really that STP you're looking for. Ninja's kind of interesting. You get PDL 1. Off the top of my head, at the very least, Core is actually benefiting from this. So if you're a Savage Blade Corsair and you're at attack cap, PDL is raising the attack cap, or the basically your damage cap that you can do. So Corsairs who are typically subbing Ninja anyway for stuff like Savage Blade are basically getting a free damage limit boost here. It's small, but it's basically free. And probably the biggest one of our current batch of sub-job level ups. So right now, sub-jobs can go to 53. SC has already stated they're going to be raising the mastery level rank in the future. So we'll be wanting to look towards other subs as they become more useful. For now, Dragoon sub is getting a huge benefit. Super Jump is an ability with a 3-minute cooldown that says, here, I'll pull it up. Three-minute cooldown, range of 12 yalms, jumps out of targeted enemy's perception range. Upon usage, the user will set their enmity to 1 cumulative enmity, but only if the user is currently holding hate. If a mob targets you, and you're a DD, and you hit Super Jump, you wipe your entire cumulative enmity. Volatile enmity, the other type of enmity, already decreases over time. Cumulative enmity, basically, once you cap your cumulative enmity, there's nothing you can do about it. In certain pieces of content, dying will reset it. But in general, DDs had been subbing Dragoon for high jump to reduce that amount by, I believe, 10%. I was already subbing Dragoon on my Dancer, my Thief, and my Warrior. 30% Dragoon sub job. So you shed that. If you're in a sustained DPS fight and you get to cumulative enmity cap where say the Rune Fencer or Paladin had already been there for a while, you start to fight for the mob's attention because there's no way at that point to get rid of hate outside of your main job's abilities, in the case of Dragoon, jumps. Now with sub-job Dragoon, we were high jumping to reduce that by 30%, but then you'd quickly get back up to the top, to the cap. Now you can super jump and reduce your cumulative enmity entirely. This is enormous for any type of fight with sustained DPS. In particular, Dynamis Wave 3 boss doing melee strats. This has an immediate impact on the game. Anyway, there's not much more to say about it. Dragoon sub already gives a weapon skill damage bonus trait that we will get at a higher level once the sub job cap is raised further, but super jump is not to be ignored. Next up is another one of the important ones. It's Blue Mage sub, and basically what they're describing here is if your sub job is between 41 and 50, you get 30 points to spend, and you get 14 slots to set spells. Once you get to 51 sub, you get 35 points to spend, and 16 slots for spells. Now, I don't generally get... So I sub Blue Mage on my Rune Fencer a lot. I don't generally get to the point where I need all 16 slots, but those extra 5 points are going to be fantastic with the new spells you can get. Here's some auto-refresh traits from getting these 3 spells. Here's a magic defense bonus. Here's a Clear Mind. For those of you who need a reminder on what Clear Mind is, raises amount of healing while resting. Not super important, but I will for one be looking for ways to set all of these auto refreshes on my Rune Fencer and prevent ever having MP issues again. I rarely do. In content that I do, make sure to use Tenebrae on cooldown with the Dark Rune up. But sometimes you forget, or sometimes you have excessive MP needs, and wow, is this going to make a difference? Yeah. Also, magic defense bonus, not to be ignored. Magic defense bonus is a straight reduction to magic damage. Corsair, random deal. Now, woe is written here because this does seem powerful. However, you should know that random deal only targets abilities that are on cooldown if you're specifically a Corsair and you have the merited ability. Loaded dice? Loaded deck. Focuses effective random deal on abilities waiting on recast. Basically, you put one merit into loaded deck. In general, for most content, there are small pieces of content where you want to have that loaded deck. But all that to say, random deal on Subjob is not going to be good, but there may come a time where it is useful. Next up, Dancer gets Building Flourish. Sorry, I skipped Puppet Master, mostly because you never sub-pup. Moving on. Building Flourish is not going to be good on Subjob. I'll show you why. Increases the strength of the next weapon skill used. Boost is based on the number of finishing moves consumed. All it gives you is if you manage to build 3 finishing moves, which, by the way, in Dancer Sub means 3 whole steps, you can then crack Building Flourish for accuracy and attack plus 25% and some kind of crit rate to your next weapon skill. It's good. The time you spend building steps. Say you're okay, let's assume you've already built steps because you wanted box step for the piece of content you're on. Then you use 3 finishing moves. I should say building finishing moves using steps. 3 finishing moves to give you this slight bonus. The time it takes you to use your JA might not even be worth it. The big thing about Building Flourish on Dancer main is you also get 20 weapon skill damage once you have your job mastered. So 20 weapon skill damage would be a big difference. So take that for what it is, but it is now available to you as a Dancer sub. Next up, we have Scholar. At level 50 Subjob, gives you 3 stratagems instead of 2, and it lowers your recharge time to 1 minute and 20 seconds from what I believe is 1 minute and 40. No, it was 2 minutes. So you're actually cutting 40 seconds off per stratagem. That is big for anybody who was using Scholar Sub, specifically on White Mage, man. Yeah, being able to accession a Na spell, I believe, across party. It's just, this is good stuff. Very good stuff. Also, you gain access to Stona with Addendum White. I'm not sure who's subbing Scholar that doesn't have Stona, but this could be relevant, such as for Geo. Geomancer sub, uninteresting. Rune Fencer sub, mildly interesting. At the moment, gaining access to Valiance, MDB 3. I don't believe Paladin gets native MDB, so Paladin/Rune may become a thing, especially as we get more abilities from Rune Fencer sub, but we'll see that one as time goes. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Please, in the comments below, post and tell me which new sub-job level you're looking forward to the most for your favorite job you play. Make sure to drop a like if you found this information helpful. I honestly wouldn't have been able to come up with such a great chart myself, so props to the users who are working this stuff out. And catch me on Twitch, twitch.tv/ScottyDeluxe. I stream Final Fantasy throughout the week. And other than that, have a great rest of your day, and peace out. Did I miss a roll? Do you guys have Fighters, Core, Chaos? I'm missing Sam's. Did I run away for it? Oh, you're trying to figure out something for your macro, Tamoli?